Alright, what is up guys, Jewelers here back with episode 3 of the top 145 Mario Kart courses of all time. First of all, before we get into it, I just want to thank you guys so much for helping me reach over 700 subscribers. That's so amazing. I'll talk about more details towards the end of the video when what I want to do for a special, so stay tuned to the end of the video. But nonetheless, let's get started with track number 116, GBA Mario Circuit from the Game Boy Advance Mario Kart Super Circuit. Obviously, if you look at the mini-map, it's completely flat. You know, if we were talking about the Mario Kart 8 version, which is much more visually appealing and has a lot of hills and some shortcuts you could actually take, that is what this version of Mario Circuit lacks, because, you know, all the colored bricks that are centered around the middle of the track, you can't do a single shortcut. I mean, you could do some, but they're not really that useful because the grass patches aren't that big. They're a lot bigger than on Peach Circuit, though, I would say. Peach Circuit had, like, no grass patches for you to take shortcuts, but this track, it's something you would expect from a standard Mario Circuit track back in the day, in the 90s and the early 2000s. Just something flat with, you know, not much background besides trees and hills like the Super Mario Bros. Games and all that kind of stuff. There's a quick shortcut you could take over here and then land on the boost panel. If you do it better than I do, that's good for you. That is something you could do when doing time trials and all that kind of stuff. But we're moving on to track 115. This is Peach Beach from Mario Kart Double Dash. You know, this track is visually appealing. I like it a lot. I like the detail that they show on the back. You could see the Daisy Cruiser that was in the background, and you have the water going back and forth, but you don't want to go too far into the water or you would land up in the dark blue water, which is out of bounds area and actually will have to take you out, and that wastes a lot of time. You really do not want to do that. There are also cataquacks on the beach land. You didn't see them because I was playing in time trial mode. Time trial mode does not feature the cataquacks, but when you're playing in Grand Prix mode, the cataquacks are everywhere and they're trying to race you. That is a pipe. That is actually really cool. I like that pipe a lot. So I wish they just made it more useful. It's not really that useful in that game. It's fun to do, but, you know, to play around like I am in time trials. But if it was more useful, that and Mushroom Bridge, you know, that maybe factor in ranking this track a little higher. But back to the cataquacks I was talking about, they are kind of hard to avoid. I mean, unless you're really skilled at the game like I am. But the cataquacks, they come after you, and, you know, you just have to try and avoid them. The computers will rarely hit them, I believe. And then you got this outside rink too. You see, there's a lot of extra features in Peach Beach that, you know, would make it better if they were useful, but unfortunately it doesn't make the course useful at all. We are moving on though to Mario Kart Wii's version of their second track in the Mushroom Cup. This is Meadows. Now, the thing I like about this track is that it's pretty basic. You know, it gives you shortcut availability right from the start. I mean, you got this shroom cut that you could take. The world record, in fact, takes this shortcut. But there, just like Peach Beach, it falls with a lot of other stuff like that blue ramp. Oh, and look at this. I just did a low trick there. I think that was my first time ever doing a low trick on that ramp. For some reason, I find that ramp super hard to do a low trick on in Meadows. And then you gotta try and avoid those grass patches like I did not do a good job of doing over there. And you see there are cows in the grass. Sometimes they will come out. Oh, they're coming out on the road right there, but you can just take the shortcut and avoid that. But the first set of cows are coming out on lap 3, and that blue ramp we just passed by that I was going to talk about earlier is completely useless, just like the moles, because they could just get in your way, and that is why I think that track should be ranked 114. Nonetheless, Peach Gardens, we just talked about Peach Beach, and we're talking about Peach Gardens, is ranked at number 113, and this starts off with a nice circle. You obviously want to go to the left, because the right side, unless it's mirror mode, is a lot slower because it's just a circle that loops around, and you don't want to try and run into the chain jump. Now this track, it suffers from, I think, like way too many obstacles. Like, you know, this whole garden area, it could just honestly go. Like, you know, there's so many, you know, flower walls and all that kind of stuff, whatever you want to call these. In this area right here, it actually the statistics of your vehicle, I think, not change, but like the way your vehicle feels, not statistics. Man, what am I thinking? Here's the right side, in fact. But when you're in that mud path with the Monty moles, you just feel with your controller that that your tires are not gripping to the ground as much as they normally do. And other than that, it wasn't really as fun when racing it for me. So let's just move on. Anyways, this is Choco Mountain from Mario Kart 64. I seem to feel like this track is kind of like forgotten about, just because there is absolutely zero major shortcuts in the, or intended shortcuts in the game, I should say. There is one big glitch in the game that you could just like loop around the starting line, I think, by jumping over the hills, all that kind of jazz. I certainly am not good enough at Mario Kart 64 to perform such glitches, so that is why I'm ranking this track down at 112. You know, you got some polygonal chocolate rocks, I would say. This track also suffers from like literally no place to fall. Like, you cannot fall. You have to try and get yourself out of bounds. So it kind of removes a bit of the challenge that this course has to offer. Other than that, it's kind of visually appealing because you got the fog running away from Mario, proportionate to Mario's speed. But that's pretty much all this track has to offer, besides a really nice design. And we're going to be moving on to track 111, Shy Guy Beach from Mario Kart Super Circuit, in fact. This track, I think this track it's not bad. It's a little too short, but then again, all the GBA tracks are kind of short. But I just think that the water sections, they kind of treated it like a little wrong. The water, especially this section right here with the little island patches. When you're going from island to water, it's like the water slows down your speed when you're trying to get back onto an island. So like you're slowing speed, gaining speed, slowing speed, gaining speed. So when you're using someone like Mario, the acceleration does not pick up enough for you to regain your full speed before you end up losing all that speed to the water again. And that is why, you know, I don't really like that track as much. Plus it just goes by too quickly, and the bombs could sometimes surprise knock you off, and there's not really that much room for shortcuts. So it's just your simple circle track with little to no obstacles at all. But this is fun here. You could just drift way to the left of the starting line and finish like that. It is pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. But nonetheless, from Mario Kart Super Circuit to Mario Kart 8/8 Deluxe, we have their version of the Mansion course. Twisted Mansion is what it's called. Now, don't get me wrong. Trust me, Twisted Mansion, I have to give Nintendo so much credit, because if you just look at it right now, all the bookcases and the dirt floor and the rug and the everything, the chandeliers and the ghoul face that we enter into to enter a water section, they just put so much effort into this track. I'm absolutely blown away by the visual appeal that this track has. However, this track I never really race well on this track. I've never really had great experiences on this track, and that plays a big factor in, you know, why you don't want to pick this track when going online and all that kind of stuff, and, you know, why you're never too excited to play this track. Because one, besides the fact that there's not that many shortcuts besides one I'm about to show you right here with the going inside the bookcase, and then another one at the very end, which I use in my time trials, but I'm not sure if it's even faster. You know, other than that, that kind of factors into why this track is ranked 110. But we're going to another Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track, Sweet Sweet Candy. Now, I kind of like the theme of this track better. Definitely about desserts, donuts, ice cream, candy, you know, chocolate chip cookies, and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, frosting with sprinkles. This is all delicious, and it's making me hungry. Not really, because I just ate, but, you know, still. You know, the visuals from the Candy Mountain that you go when you're on the glider. I wish the glider was more stable, more like the cannons back in Mario Kart Double Dash and Wii. But, you know, I'll deal with it for now. It is Mario Kart 8, and they're trying to use gliders the best of their ability. I wish also that the candy was used more as obstacles and like in-game elements, instead of for just flooring and decal for the backgrounds. And it just, you know, never really made sense to me why they did that. The only really real thing that they used candy for was like off-road and shortcuts, and then a couple obstacles here and there like that donut. Here's the other candy cane path, the blue path. You know, you want to try and avoid the frosting area. It's not really too amazing. It's kind of equivalent to the pink path. So either path that you take, you'll just end up landing on this area at the same time. However, there is one shortcut here. It's not even, I wouldn't even consider it a shortcut. I wish they correlated those paths more, so a shortcut like that can be faster, kind of like what they did on Rainbow Road from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But anyways, they're not going to do that with that track, so let's just move on to Bowser Castle 2 from the Game Boy Advance Mario Kart Super Circuit. And I just missed that boost panel, because that boost panel is actually pretty hard to knock on, you know, once you get on the right turn. But, you know, you can hit that boost panel, and I missed that boost panel. Boost panels here in the track for some reason are small, and I would also often consider this version of Bowser Castle to be the most forgotten out of all the 4 Bowser Castle. Yes, there's 4 in Mario Kart Super Circuit in this game. You know, the thwomps are sporadically placed, not very occasionally you see a thwomp. And then here's the other path. If you want to take the long route, you know, I would say the most fun part is just jumping on the ramps, because the sound that it makes in this game is just super satisfying. I don't know why I think that, and also running on the metal crates, that's also very satisfying as well. But that's pretty much the only fun part of this course, because you always front run the computers when doing a GP. Next up is track number 107. This is Luigi Raceway from Mario Kart 64. The only thing I wish that they did to this track, I mean, besides, you know, I mean, it's a starter track, what are you gonna do? But the only thing I really wish they did to it was make it like shorter. I feel like it's just way too long. I think when I looked on the Mario Wiki, I think it's over 1,000 meters. I'm probably wrong like that. I shouldn't have said that. Oh my god, I'm gonna get comments saying, Gabe, you're wrong. Okay, anyways, let's just move on. The thing the map kind of reminds me of Figure 8 Circuit from Mario Kart DS. However, the shortcuts in this course, like this has a glitch where I think if you exit the tunnel and you jump at just the right time, you could skip over the fence and cut off the bottom circle of the track. You can also cut, if you have a golden mushroom or a star, you could cut into the wall, not into the wall, but hug the wall and cut so much grass, unlike in Figure 8 Circuit. Speaking of Figure 8 Circuit in Mario Kart DS, this is Mario Circuit track number 106. It has a lot more pizzazz to it. I would say it is the only Mario Circuit that is in the Star Cup, and you know, it has Peach's castle suspended above water in the middle, and you got fireballs coming out of piranha plants. At least that's what they want you to think, but when you see it, it doesn't actually happen. You got lights above a pipe. But then here's where it starts to get weird. Just like Peach Gardens in this game, this track has like this weird off-road section that makes your kart drift a little weird, and you know, you could, if you drift the wrong way, or if you just simply have the wrong vehicle, you could go straight into piranha plants. So this game, I could see why this track makes it in the Star Cup, because there are some sharp drift turns towards the end of this track that, you know, don't make it as fun as it probably should be. Other than that, it's just a plain and simple Mario Circuit track. Not too much of a challenge, not many hills. And going from Mario Circuit to Luigi Circuit and back, we have Luigi Circuit from Mario Kart Wii. Now, people probably do not like this track as much as I do. I like this track simply because I time trial this track a lot in Mario Kart Wii. My personal record is 110.347. It's not great, but I enjoy time trialing it because, you know, you get to test out the wheelie speed and all that kind of stuff. When you're playing Grand Prix mode, obviously you just want to get this track over with, and it's nothing new. But I just have something special in this track in my heart because, you know, I kind of know, you know, the corners, ins and outs of this track, and obviously this awesome grass cut. You know, some people say it's hard, but you know, you just gotta cut it in right. If you have a mock bike, obviously it's easier, but it's harder with the spear. You got to enter it with the perfect angle, and you know, you could also take this ramp cut if you just have one stream and you're doing it on a versus race. You know, Luigi Circuit, it's nothing special for the Wii, but I just like to time trial it. That's why I made it as high as it does. So we are moving to, I think, our only Mario Kart 7 track in this video. This is track 104, DK Jungle, the first course in the Special Cup. You know, it's honestly not bad. It steals Mushroom Gorge's mushroom with this bouncy flower to start off the track, and then you got the DK Jungle Lighthouse up top on the left where the pond is, and then you cross the bridge, and then you enter this kind of blandish area. I never take the bottom route if I don't mess up here, and I always take the glider and try and land on the ramps. As you can see, I kind of failed. Somehow I miraculously survived. That was pretty entertaining, but you know, this inside the temple, you know, they probably could have done without, but and the underwater section underneath it just doesn't really work for me because, you know, if you just, it's so much slower than going on the glider. You know, some of this track is just completely unbalanced, but the visual details of this track, I do have to say, is pretty nice, but besides that, it's not too fancy of a track. And here is, if you watch the trailer, 90 tracks presented in this video. This is one of the 9 new tracks that were not featured in my top 135. This is why this list is called the top 145. This is one of the 9 tracks that were added. Excite Bike Arena, one of the DLC tracks from Mario Kart 8. It came out in November 2014 with the Mario Cross Legend of Zelda pack. It is featured in the Egg Cup, the second course, I believe, and it's pretty much Baby Park extended. It's really boring, I gotta say, going in just a straight line. with some mud patches around the corners, and that is about it. There is nothing to this track except, you know, what's cool about it is that you could switch the ramps, switch every time, but that's pretty much it. It's not really fun to race in a Grand Prix or a time trial, which is why I don't time trial it. Anyways, that is my list for now. We will do tracks number 102 all the way up to 88 in the next video, but for now I want to talk about my 700 subscribers special. I want to call it special. I just want to thank you guys so much for 700 subscribers. That is incredible. I can't believe we made it this far. There are like some big YouTubers out there that have, like, you know, over 20,000 subscribers that just like a year or two ago had 700 subscribers. Now me thinking that I'm at 700 subscribers, that's really awesome. If I could get my content out to many more people, that would just be a dream come true. But anyways, enough talking about my dreams. Let's start talking about, you know, what you guys want to see. What I want to do for 700 subscribers, I thought about it for a while. Initially I was going to do some top 10 video, but I think actually I want to try and make it more interactive, or at least get you guys involved in it. I want to make it similar to my 400 subscriber special. If you were around for 400 subscribers, what I did was I picked a day, like any day this month or something like that, and I did a Mario Kart 8 race, or I set up my own tournament for 400 subs, and I did a race. I had subscribers, you know, join in whenever they wanted, and, you know, we would just race. That didn't end up going well, unfortunately, because hardly anybody joined. I didn't do it as a live stream because I do not have the equipment good enough to live stream, so I'm thinking that's what I want to do for this one. However, I have three options. Here are my options. We could either do it for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch and make it, you know, battle mode, and I would create a battle mode tournament, and we could do that. Kind of like my foreign. It wouldn't be a live stream. It would just be a day, and you guys could just hop on. I will make an announcement video reminding you guys, or telling you guys what game I pick, because other two games I could do are Mario Kart Wii, because I have CTGPR, I have Wimfi. My only issue with that is that I did play a couple of Wimfi races and I got disconnected after about an hour and a half, and I couldn't get back on right after, so I'm afraid if that happens, then that will be bad. But if you guys want to do some Wimfi races with me, you know, you could obviously vote for that. And the last thing I could do, I thought this was clever, was Mario Kart 7 for 700, you know. It wouldn't be a live stream, obviously, which is why I thought Mario Kart 7 could work, because, you know, I could just film it from my camera, playing some online races in Mario Kart 7 with you guys. I don't have too much Mario Kart 7 content on here, but if you guys are Mario Kart 7 fans and want to play Mario Kart 7 with me, then I could definitely do that. So I have a voting poll on the card on the top right corner. Please vote now. What do you want to do for 700 subs? Do you want to play Battle Mode Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Do you want to play CTGPR Wimfi on Mario Kart Wii? Or do you want to do Mario Kart 7? You know, I'll set up a tournament and we'll do that. One or the other. This video is getting too long. I've been talking way too much after the lists. But you guys, please vote, because that will dictate which game I decide to do for you guys. And in a couple of days, I will take the results and I will announce it, and the date obviously when we will do it, because I'm already at 704 subscribers last time I checked. I'm going to stop talking for now, let you guys get to the voting. Please vote, it will help me a lot. Also like the video and also subscribe to me if you're new, because if you want to see more of this list, you definitely don't want to miss out. And I made two other videos talking about, you know, tracks that I think are worse than the tracks I just talked about in this video. Please help those videos get more views as well. And that is it for now. This video is way too long. I'm Jewelers, signing out.